to our live session today. We have Soumya with us today for the live session. I have just sent her a request to join in. I'm waiting for her to get added. Hi Soumya, I can see that you are here. Are you able to join? For everyone who is joining us today, at Nutri Talks, we are trying to understand the problems that a person faces in everyday meals, in everyday nutrition, in everyday health. And we are getting experts like Soumya. Last time we had Dr. Rekha with us. Before that, we had Shweta with us, who are experts in the field of nutrition and diet. And they're helping us answer some of the questions that we generate. Uh, in case you have any questions during the live session, you can drop it on the comment, and we'll definitely try to cover as much as we can in the next 30 minutes. Hi, Swami, are you able to see me? Can you please join? Are you able to send a request or accept a request that I'm sending you? Thanks for everyone who is joining. There is just a bit of hold because we are waiting for Soumya to join in. Last Friday also we were having some glitch in the join, hence we planned it this week.
Yeah.
Hi Soumya.
Able to hear? Yeah, hello.
Yeah,
Audible?
hi.
Yeah,
Yes, you are
hello.
audible. How are you, Soumya?
Yes, good, good, good. Thank you so much for the invite. Sorry for the last minute glitches. So I'm
No
extremely
problem.
sorry that I could not do the session last week, but I'm geared up today.
I
So thanks
completely
to all the
understand. It's
viewers as well.
technology after all.
Right.
Okay, so for all the viewers who are over here, I would like to, introduce you. Soumya is a dietitian and a medical nutritionist with an experience of 18 plus years, which is like great. And Soumya expertise in helping people plan their meals, plan the time of the meals as per their lifestyle. So if this is not a go-to thing that yes, everybody should follow the same thing, Soumya is an expert in telling people what will suit them the best. Am I right, Soumya?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There is no one size fit all. So every individual is unique with their own genetics, their food habits, their exercise, their lifestyle patterns. So the food or the diet needs to be planned considering everything into picture. So it cannot be like only diet. So I have been always following this approach that every individual is unique. So you need to tailor to their needs.
Okay, thanks for joining, Soumya. I will start with the question. So usually what we do is before we do a session, 1 week, 2 week prior, we start asking questions on our stories, on our different mediums to people, so that we understand what is their requirement on the topic, and then we collect them, collate them, and then ask the questions in the Nutri Talks. So,
Okay.
the first question for today is, what is the importance of meal planning in today's life?
Okay. So very pertinent question. So meal planning, why it is important today? Because most of us women are working today. So when they come home, they're already tired and stressed out of their whole day's work. So
Yeah.
if the menu is not planned, so it is easier to get into the junk food scenario at the earliest. So you tend to grab your food on the unhealthy foods at first because you don't have the patience to come home and cook the right food. One is that thing. And secondly, meal planning acts like a timetable. So you are very much assured like what is going to be prepared on what particular day. It's just like your timetable. So you know which subjects you have to carry your books on particular days. So you know what needs to be cooked on particular day. So the process of cooking or planning the meals is like stressful for most of the ladies. So that is what I have experienced in my practice. So whenever they come to me, so kya banao khane mein? That is the first question they ask, because every individual has their own preferences, own needs, and their health conditions might warrant them to eat different foods. So a lady alone can't manage without proper planning. So, and the other thing is, whoever wants to eat healthy, menu planning is the first tool that is going to help you to track what you are eating. So it is a reflection of what you are eating. So before even coming to the dietitian, so if you have your 7 days meal plan ready, so that will give us an idea as to what is your lifestyle in general. So that is how meal planning becomes a priority in every household, be it a working woman or whether it is a homemaker, because even if homemaker is bounded by too many duties at home. So meal planning acts as an efficient tool for getting the right food habits for all the family members.
Yeah. So I think this will also give you some more time on your hand to do other things, because if it is planned, it will be much more easier to execute throughout the day.
Right. So you can tell your maid also, like once your meal plan is ready, you can ask her, okay, you prepare these items. So by the time you are home, the food is ready. So
Yeah.
that's like
That
a convenient tool.
that's a great thing. So based on this, can you share some practical tips for managing portion sizes at home?
Yeah. So basically, you need to understand portion size is not about like you have to count every grains on your plate. So हर एक दाना count नहीं करना है. So portion control is basically considering your lifestyle or your health challenges. You need to eat the particular food in measured amounts. So the some of the practical tips what I generally give is, first, reduce your plate size. So if you're used to having a bigger plate size, try to reduce the plate size. So automatically the food which goes on the plate reduces. Second, have a count on your carbs. So generally it is a common scenario when we have our roti, sabji, dal, dahi and all in our plate. So you have this aloo sabji, right? So potato, it's a starch, it's a carbohydrates. So many
Yeah.
people confuse it as a vegetable and have it in place of the normal vegetable like your greens. So you are having your rice,
Hmm.
you are having your chapatis and you are having your potatoes. So all three are carbs. So you need to control that portion size. So if you are having potatoes, maybe you can skip your rice or chapati. So that is how you control your carbs, and maybe increase your protein intake, your dahi, or maybe if you're a non-vegetarian, egg can be added. Third,
Yeah.
you need to have specific measurements for your food. So as you might be aware, we have these katoris, right? The small
Yeah.
cups for your dal and sambar. So you need to have specific measurements. Okay, you are going to have two chapatis, or you're going to have one katori of dal, one katori of dahi. So that precisely gives you an idea, okay, I'm eating this much. So it automatically, you become conscious, okay, what is your pattern of intake? So
Hmm.
have some specific standard measurements.
Hmm.
And fourth, many of us have this sweet tooth. खाना खाने के बाद immediately we go and grab
Yes.
some sweets or chocolates. So उसके लिए alternative ये है कि have some dates or raisins in your fridge. So which is more healthier and give you less calories as compared to your full sweets or your chocolates. And fifth, ladies को मेन मैं एडवाइस देना चाहूंगी कि लेफ्ट ओवर्स को खाओ मत, बिकॉज कभी भी बच्चे लोग छोड़ देते हैं. सो इट इज द लेडीज हु टेंड टू ईट दैट थिंकिंग कि वो फूड को वेस्ट नहीं करना है. And what happens? This waste goes and gets deposited on your waist, the tummy.
Okay.
So you need to
I think
avoid
this is a
this.
very good advice because
So
many times I have
use
seen
smaller
mothers meal
size.
actually start from that only.
Right. Sorry, I didn't hear you. I
Many times I have
didn't
seen
hear
the mother. So yeah, just getting back to your point, many times I have seen that a mother's meal starts from the leftover of the kids, and then they
very
put
true.
more food onto it.
Yes. So that's not balanced, right? So you eat whatever is left, not what is required for your body. So whenever your meal plate comes in front of you, it should be adequate. It should provide you variety. It should provide you satiety. And basically, it should nourish your body. That is when the plan or the meal plate is said to be have fulfilled your requirements. So it is not like just add on everything on your plate and just dump it in your body. No. So it has to nourish you in the first place. So that is the whole objective of meal plan.
That's great. So, if someone is new to this concept of meal planning, then what are the first step uh, to initiate this or to start this?
First, try to understand the various food groups which you are eating. So there are basically 5 food groups. So the first is your cereals, cereal grains like your roti, rice, जो भी रहता है. Second, your proteins group. So again, proteins, animal proteins and plant proteins. Third comes your vegetables, like all your greens. Fourth is your other vegetables like your gourds, your cluster beans, cauliflower, cabbage, all those are categorized in other vegetables. And fifth comes your fats and oils. So first you need to segregate which are the foods that you are eating from this particular food group. That is the first step for meal planning. Before any advanced meal planning, you need to know the basics of food planning. So these are the food groups from which you need to pick and choose your foods which you like to have it in your day-to-day life, and then try to incorporate the portions. So again, you might not know how much of portion you're supposed to eat, but maybe with the help of a dietitian or the nutritionist, you should be able to figure out the portion for your goal, for your weight, or maybe if you're a diabetic, to manage your blood sugars.
Yeah. So depending on what suits you, a nutritionist or a dietitian can tell you that yes, this much of carbohydrates or this much of
Yes,
other food section is required.
proteins.
Proteins
Correct,
for that.
correct. So the distribution is decided by the nutritionist based on your health goals.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to even understand that when we are connecting with a dietitian or a nutritionist, what should we expect?
So, as I said, you should first of all be aware of the terminology which might come up in your discussion, like your portion size or the serving size. So you should be little bit aware of what it means. So because what happens is many a times when we try to reduce the portion size of the client's plate, they're like, okay, this is not going to happen from us. So I'm not going to eat less, or I can't survive with this less food. So if you have some background knowledge why certain foods are reduced in your plate, that becomes a much more, you can build much good rapport with the dietitian, and the compliance with the diet would be much greater, and the results what you are expecting would be received in a short span of time. So you don't have to drag for that. So you will get your expected results if you cooperate with the nutritionist. See, diet plan is not about one way. So it has to be a
No
mutual
patience.
understanding between both of us. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, now this is vacation time right now. The summer's over here, so a lot of people are traveling, etc. So how can they adjust their meals so that they get the best benefits to it?
Yeah. So being summertime, most of us are like to drink their foods during this time rather than eat their foods. So the best option is keep some ready mixes like your dry fruit mixes ready, your sattu powder, which can be easily mixed with your lemon and maybe with little bit of mint and chaat masala. So which is a refreshing drink. Your buttermilk, store it in large quantities because kids, especially when they're at home, they're out for your playing. I mean, they don't have any time restrictions during this vacation time. They might just pop in any time. So
Yeah.
have these ready drinks available instead of your rasna or maybe the ready-made ones. Try to have this kokum sharbat, aam panna. Those are all very refreshing. Coconut water, which is the
Yeah.
best energizer. And as far as your food is concerned, try to make one pot dishes during summer rather than preparing elaborate dishes.
Mm.
So which might spoil because of the temperature. Try to make like dal khichdi or maybe biryani with raita. So whichever suits your family appetite, try to make one pot dish so that it gives you the nourishment also, and the
Mm.
chances of getting it spoiled is also less. And third is store some steamed or boiled items like your khakra, maybe baked this one tepla, anything whichever suits your region. So maybe roasted groundnuts or boiled groundnuts. So as per your region and the seasonal availability, try to store such food in your house so that whenever you are hungry, you don't reach out to your unhealthy foods. Maybe dry fruits, your raisins, dates, apricots, all those are healthy foods, but the disclaimer here is you have to eat in moderation. So you can't go overboard on anything. So it has to be in portion. So, I mean, it's not like you can have it in any amount. So try to
Yeah.
eat it within the portion, whatever has been told to you.
Okay, that's a great input. Now we at Ajanta Oils offer usually three kind of oils to our customers. That's the range of product that we work on. But because we have a nutritionist with us today, I want to understand what are the particular oils that are better for heart health. You are also a medical nutritionist, so that's the reason I'm bringing up this question because I think your advice will be great for our viewers today.
Yeah. So basically, as you might be aware, the fats are basically consist of fatty acids. So there is this MUFA, monounsaturated fatty acids, polyunsaturated fatty acids, saturated fatty acids, and the trans fatty acids.
Yeah.
So when it comes to heart health, the top one which ranks the most, which needs to be incorporated in your diet, is the MUFA, and which is abundantly found in the mustard oil.
Mhm.
Okay, so followed by your PUFA, which is your groundnut oil, sunflower oil, and soybean oil. Then comes your saturated fats, that is your ghee. And the last, or even if you could avoid the trans fat, your heart will thank you forever, because that is the most damaging fat so far we have seen when it comes to overall health and in particular to heart. So there is a ratio which needs to be maintained between this MUFA, PUFA and saturated fatty acids. Again, these guidelines are decided by the dietitian based on your profile, your lipid profile and your health condition. But if you're asking me which is the best oil, mustard oil tops the chart, followed by your sunflower, groundnut, and soybean oil. But
That's a
again,
great
the
input.
disclaimer is you have to eat in moderation. So anything has to be measured because the food itself contains fat, like your dry fruits, coconut, everything has inherent fat in that. So on top of it, if you're using a lot of fat, then it adds to the calorie count of your day's diet. So that needs to be cautioned, or that needs to be taken care while planning your diet. That's it.
Yeah.
So
So
there is
yes,
nothing
I
like,
understand that excess of anything will be bad, even if it
yes,
is like a very good dry fruit or a very good oil, or even if it is vegetable, excess of vegetable is also going to cause a problem.
true, true, true. So anything in moderation is always the best. No extremes. That has been my mantra always.
Yeah, that's good to know. So I want to understand, there have been so many, on and off, there are so many newses and everything. What is one food myth that you want to debunk?
Uh, if you're asking me the food myth, again, gluten should be stopped by everyone. Gluten rich foods. So this is the biggest myth actually. There is nothing like to lose weight or to control your sugars, you need to avoid gluten rich food. People with celiac disease or who are intolerant to this wheat protein, this gluten is basically a wheat protein. So
Hmm.
they might be allergic to this protein component, which might exacerbate many symptoms which are seen in such people. But otherwise, there is no other cause to stop this gluten rich foods without any underlying reason. What I can suggest you is, if you feel that gluten is causing you a problem, do a trial and error basis. Try to reduce the amount of gluten rich foods in your diet. See the symptoms, how whether it is increasing or whether there is a change in it or whether it is the same. So that way you can come to know whether actually gluten is a component that is causing you problem or there is something else. But people who are genuinely allergic to gluten, definitely they will exhibit symptoms immediately, even with small portion of gluten rich foods. So that is the biggest myth, because left and right people are trying to
Yes.
avoid wheat, they're just going on to millets.
Mm.
And again, millets is also a high fiber food which might not be tolerated by many people. So anything whichever is like has been our staple food, it is not right on our part to completely stop it abruptly without any particular reason to do so. So there are many
Mm.
tests
So
as well available in the market, which will help you to detect whether you are allergic to any food components. So that will give you a better picture rather than just completely stopping just because you have heard somewhere or somebody has told you that it has got results. No. So it has to
mm,
be there should be some evidence to that.
yeah. So following the fad diets which come like a only juice diet or only like a gluten-free diet is something that you should not punch in without even consulting a nutritionist or a dietitian, or without even getting to know your body. Is that even suitable for your body and health or not?
See, as I said, it is advisable to consult the health practitioner before you make any major changes in your diet, because we have grown up, like South Indians are grown up with rice, North Indians are grown up with rotis. So you cannot just exchange the item key just because you're a diabetic, you have to stop rice, or because you're overweight, you stop eating the gluten rich food. So then ultimately you will start hating the food in the process. So you will
Yes.
feel that diet is not going to work for you, and that is the major reason why people are scared of following any diet. So consult
Yes, it
the
becomes.
right practitioner, consult the right practitioner, understand what is it that is causing you a problem, and then make slow and steady changes so that you comply with the diet for a long term. Because diet is not something which is to be done for 1 or 2 months, it has to be sustainable, right? So once you stop doing, again you will get back the symptoms, so again the cycle keeps continuing. So you need to follow something which you understand fully and which is sustainable in the long run.
That's a
So
great
that is my way
insight.
of tackling this.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Soumya, for coming and clearing so many things. And yes, gluten definitely a big myth. And we have talked about it earlier also in one of the talks that we have done. But yes, you reconfirming this thing that yes, only following it was a great input from your end. Thanks a lot. And thanks for our viewers to join us today. I hope that this was a very informative session for you. And looking forward to again, doing some live with you, Soumya, in the coming days.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the viewers, and thank you, Himani, for the invite. So I was happy conducting this session. Looking forward for the same in the future.
Thanks a lot, Soumya.
Thank you. Yeah,
Bye bye.
bye.